biostructure.
I'd say more like a pine cone.
Oh,
it's like
that's what I meant to say. I meant to say pine cone. In my mind, that's what I meant.
Hey, welcome back to another round. This is episode 18. I'm glad you're here.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so this week we are trying Tart and Juicy Sour IPA from Epic Brewing, which Epic is based out of Salt Lake City, Utah. And Epic Brewing was Utah's first brewery since Prohibition to brew exclusively high alcohol content beer. High alcohol content beer for, I think it's the majority of the US is at like 4%. Anything above 4% is what you would consider high alcohol content. And then,
really?
But in Utah, they raised it the minimum to 5%. So anything above 5% is considered high alcohol content.
So you're telling me they're the first brewing company in Utah after Prohibition to make something above 5%?
No, to do exclusively high alcohol content. So all of theirs are above. So this is 5.1, I believe.
5.1%, barely meeting the mark.
Yeah. And basically, high alcohol content beer can only be sold, it can't be sold at like grocery stores or like gas stations. It can only be sold at liquor stores or like places that have a liquor license.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah.
So what they had to say is, we've combined the clean, puckering tartness of kettle souring with an abundance of juicy, citrus-driven hops to create a beer that's the best of both worlds. Tart and Juicy Sour IPA.
So, want to get into it?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Moment of silence. Oh, beautiful sound.
It's a good crack. No spillage.
Very good sour. I know we looked it up and like the IBU of this is actually pretty heavy.
Yeah, it's actually a 60, which
it's pretty bitter.
It's high. It's higher than what I normally would be able to handle. But I think with them combining the sour and the IPA together, it just works really, really well. I think that's kind of what saves it, because you don't really get much of a bitter aftertaste either.
No, the sour is what you get the aftertaste of.
Yeah, so the sour hits you up front, and you get a little bit of like the IPA, but then the sour is basically like the finishing too. All right, let's get into the taste rating. Been sitting around doing nothing here. Okay, I'm gonna give this an 8 because I'm a fan.
Okay.
And also like, because like I said before, I want to get into like IPAs to some extent, and this kind of like should help.
I'll give this 6.2.
Ooh, okay.
It's really good. I think just for me, it's not the best I've ever tasted, but it's good. I think it has some merit to it.
I do like the upfront sour taste though.
I like sour.
It's very good. Let's get into the can design.
We definitely did not do that again just so we synced up.
We're synced. We're in sync.
We're same person.
Yeah. I do like the color scheme though. It does pop from the background.
Yes. I like the harsh black with the warm colors. Like this is probably the one time where you can have multiple colors where it works, because it's not overbearing with those multiple colors.
Yeah. I completely agree.
This style reminds me of like an old like diner style, like from like the 50s or something.
Yeah.
Like I don't know why. Like this,
it's like the neon, the neon era. Yeah.
It reminds me of neon.
You're not crazy.
It's not too busy too.
The one criticism I do have is it says Tart and Juicy in the center of the O, and I just thought this was the Sour IPA from before, but it's the Tart and Juicy Sour IPA.
Oh, so Tart and Juicy is part of the name.
Yes, that's the only criticism I have.
Oh, I didn't know that. I thought it was just called Sour IPA. I thought Tart and Juicy, like, oh, that's what it's like tasting.
That's what I thought too, and then until I looked it up.
Because craft beers will normally have like, oh, smooth and creamy, or like we had last week, which is not part of the name, but
it just has it on the can.
Is that an acorn? Or is it not?
No, it's a hop.
Yeah.
Is that an acorn?
Okay, it counts like an acorn from first glance. It's the same like bio.
I'd say more like a
structure.
pine cone.
Oh,
It's like
that's what I meant to
spiky.
say. I meant to say pine cone. In my mind, that's what I meant.
So far off.
That's okay. In my mind, I said pine cone, but verbally, I said acorn. we can go. With
Yeah, I
the
think we can go into
rating.
rating here. We're just dawdling around. Okay. You want to go first? You want me to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay.
For what it's worth, this is one of the few times where multiple colors work, and just because it has a full black background, I think that's what benefits it. I'll give this 6.6.
The one thing I will dock points for is the tart and juicy in the O. That's literally just because I know it's part of the name. So that's gonna bring it to like I'll give like a 7.1.
So point. Dang, okay. You really like this can.
I like cans with contrast.
I agree. Cans with anything with contrast just makes it pop. When you have like all these colors that look similar, it just doesn't stand out.
Yeah. All right, so the final score comes out to 6.975.
Whew.
It's a good score.
Good score. Good job.
yeah.
Was it Epic Brewing?
Yeah, Epic Brewing. You guys are doing something good out there. Made a good sour IPA. I want to join your club.
It's a good stepping stone.
It is.
Okay, it's a good stepping stone for either direction. If you are in IPAs, want to go into sours, or sours into IPAs, this is your drink.
Definitely. All right, so thanks for joining us this week, and we'll catch you next week.
For another round.
See ya.